Where? Okay. Disabilities information in higher education, COVID and the return to university life.
So disability and society, why is it important? 19% or more of all students in higher education in the United States have a disability as defined by the Americans with Disability Act. Actually, 26% of the population has a disability as per the US Census Bureau. In the Convention on the Rights of People with Disability, the United Nations has stated that people with disabilities are the largest minority population. Therefore, as a state institution, it's our job to make sure our students with disabilities feel welcome and accommodated. So our office can help fulfill that.
Some of the common disabilities in higher education are attention deficit disorder. You may have heard it called ADD, blindness or low vision, chronic health problems, deafness or hearing loss, developmental disabilities, autism spectrum disorder, head injuries such as traumatic brain injury. You may have heard it called TBI, learning disabilities, mobility impairments, psychological disabilities, or temporary disabilities such as broken bones or other injuries.
And for this one, we want to remind you, it's often overlooked, we are not responsible for financial aid. Please, if you have not done so, complete your FAFSA online at fafsa.edu.government or contact the financial aid office for any available loans and grants, or even contact the Office of Scholarships for scholarships. If there's a significant disability, if they're total blindness, they're very deaf, contact the vocational rehabilitation services. They can help with tuition waivers.
So something very important to note is FERPA, Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. So what is FERPA? FERPA is the federal law that protects the privacy of all students' information in higher education records. So FERPA applies to all educational institutions that receive federal funding under the U.S. Secretary of Education, and that includes UTEP and El Paso Community College. Once the student turns 18, they are legally an adult. Therefore, any disclosure of any educational information that needs to be provided to anybody else or third parties, the student must give us written permission. Parents can only access grades, financial aid, and course information where their students' prior authorization. If there's no authorization by the student, the parent or spouse or friend would not be able to get a hold of these records. For CAS, the student must sign a FERPA release for their parents or any other third parties that they would like CAS to work with in terms of disclosing their records. And we provide a form. We have forms in our office that students can fill out and sign, giving us permission of who they want us to talk to if it's somebody other than themselves.
Disability services offices are quite different from K through 12 and higher education. In K through 12, they are able to modify the curriculum. That means they can change coursework if a student needs it. They can change what the student does. They work with an individualized education plan or an IEP. Decision-making is made by the school district, the teacher, guidance counselor, parent. So a group of people get together for the IEP meeting and they talk about the plan and they make one. And a student does not have to request services. The parents can get really involved, but the student does not have to request services. They're automatically given. In college, it's quite different. We provide accommodations. Now, accommodations are very different from modifications. An accommodation does not change the curriculum. An accommodation is something that helps the student handle the coursework. So for example, accommodation would be a note taker, a sign language interpreter, maybe extended time on exams. It doesn't change the work that needs to be done for the class. It just helps the student do it in a different way. The student has to be self-directed. What does that mean? It means the student has to ask for help. The student has to come and register at CAS. The parent cannot register for the student. The student must do it. We follow the Americans with Disabilities Act, or the ADA, which has federal laws that we have to follow. Our decisions are made through the student, the Disability Services Coordinator, and the ADA.
When we're looking at the ADA, it is the student's responsibility to self-disclose their disability by contacting us. And it can be done by logging onto our CAS portal with their UTEP credentials. In order to receive classroom or campus housing accommodation, the appropriate documentation must be provided by a licensed health, medical, or mental health provider. Students cannot be held to a different standard than other students. All academic requirements for each class as outlined in syllabus must be followed. Student disability documentation is confidential.
So CAS has a new software system called, the acronym is AIM. It's Accessible Information Management. So what is AIM and what does it do? So AIM is a CAS online portal where students, it's a one-stop shop where students can request appointments, schedule exams if they have an exam coming up, request alternative format. It's used by our staff, like myself as a case manager, I can log in my notes while I'm interacting with a student on a one-on-one. We could upload medical documentation and, alternative format if students need like audiobooks or books in PDF. They can request the alternative format through the portal, and it's pretty amazing. They just have to give us the title of their book, the author, the edition, and we'll get the request automatically. So how can you connect? Pretty much you could connect from anywhere, anytime. It could be either through your iPhone, iPad, computer, laptop, or labs around campus, anywhere that with technology, you just log into the portal. There's no need to create new credentials. All you do is you use your UTEP credentials that you already have established with the university, which is a great plus. There's no need to make new passwords or anything like that and keep track of that. So it's pretty neat. It's a great way also to request your accommodations. Every semester, students are required to request their accommodation through the portal. This indicates to our staff that we acknowledged you requested your accommodation, and now it's time to send out your letter to your faculty. So then we send out the letter to the faculty, and we do copy you to your minor's email account so that you are on the loop. So the portal is a great way to communicate and request accommodations. And every semester, students should request their accommodations. Accommodations are not retroactive, so they don't go back in time. So therefore, it's very important that they request them early in the semester and communicate with their professors. So how do you access the portal? The portal can be accessed in two ways. It can be accessed through our UCAS website. There is an icon where it says you could log into the portal. You could go through there, or simply go. The second way is to simply go into the internet on the browser, just put in casportal.utep.edu, and it will prompt you to the login page. So those are two easy ways that you can access the portal. Also, the portal is helpful for when note taking comes along, and if you qualify for a note taker, the professor will announce anonymously that note taker is needed. Then that person will be directed to our portal. They will apply to be a note taker, and you as a student would be able to see who the note taker is and get your notes from the portal. They will be uploaded onto the portal. And if you have any questions, our staff is on standby to work with you as a student on a one-on-one through Teams, Zoom, by phone, or even in person.
So everyone's excited about returning back to campus. With COVID and the return to university life, we wanted to let you know a few things. Masks are strongly encouraged but not required. Vaccines are strongly encouraged but not required. UTEP has both the vaccine and the COVID testing on site, and you need to contact the health center for additional information on that. We follow the state of Texas laws, which says they are encouraged but not required. So your student has a choice of what they do. We'll go along with whatever that is, but we do advise them to please stay home if they're ill. We believe that the best way for everyone to stay healthy is if you're sick, you stay home and you come back when you're well.
As you noticed, I got a little buddy here. This is Mr. Bojangle. He's actually been working for the last about 5 minutes. He is a highly trained service dog. He is double trained for my ability to hear, because I do not hear behind me at all. He's also trained to ward off panic attacks. He heard a difference in my voice. You've probably seen his paw on my chest. He was monitoring my heart rate. He is a highly trained dog. The only other animal that can be a service animal is a miniature horse. If you see me in public with him without his vest, because he don't have his vest on, the only 2 questions you can ask me is this a service animal required for disability? If I respond yes, you can ask me what task he's trained to perform. For him, he's trained to alert me when people are behind me. He's also trained to know when I'm going into an anxiety or panic attack and redirect me, which he's been trying to do for about 10 minutes. The only other animal you may see on campus, in campus housing only, are emotional support animals. They can be anything. They do not have the training. They do not have the rights of a service dog.
And just to add, with the service, with the emotional support animal, they must be approved by CAS and housing, and they're only allowed in the student's dorm, not anywhere else.
So for more information, contact us. We are the Center for Accommodation and Support Services. Once again, our acronym is CAS, C-A-S-S. We're located in the Union Building East, room 106, next to the post office and next to student publications in the first floor. Our phone number is 915-747-5148. Our email is cas@utep.edu. When you send an email through there, all our staff gets it. So that's a great way to get a hold of us. And our website, www.utep.edu/CAS. And as I mentioned earlier, how to access the portal through by going to casportal.utep.edu. So thank you so much for coming to see our presentation. I hope this is helpful for you for when you're getting ready to request accommodations as a student at UTEP. Do you have any questions?
And please know, if you're shy, you can definitely put it in the chat. If not, they also have their contact information here. So if you'd like to send them an email, please definitely do, or you can always send me an email as well. I'll put the parents' email there and I can always forward it to them. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's always good information. I feel like it's something that maybe a lot of students don't even know that it's available. So it's very good to know that there is an office dedicated to just this, which is very much needed. So thank you so much. Next, we'll move on. And Rebecca did mention this about the Health and Wellness Center. So luckily, we also have them here as well. So next, we're going to have a presentation from the Health and Wellness Center. We're going to have Yolanda Varela, who is an administrative assistant with the UTEP Health and Wellness Center, to talk to you about everything they have to offer. And hopefully she can also shed some light on what else is being offered now in this, we're living in a once in a lifetime pandemic, and what's being offered, because I know one of our parents was very interested in that. So we'll pass it on to Ms. Yolanda. Thank you so much for joining us. So yeah, I don't know if you're on a phone because it says you're muted on the phone. So let me see if I can unmute you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So did you want me to share my screen?
Yes, you should be able to. Let me know if you have any issues. Yes, it's sharing.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So I am Yolanda Varela. I am the administrative specialist at the Student Health and Wellness Center. Just a little information on our clinic. We are located at the Union East building as well. We are in Suite 100. So we are right outside the Union East building. So it's before you enter. Our current hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So we do close from 12 to 1 for lunch. And our phone number is on the screen. It is 915-747-5624. And currently our services that we are providing, we do provide compliance requirements for any of those students that are in nursing, pharmacy, OT, a lot of the health sciences programs. We also offer immunizations, lab services if any students are needing any type of lab services, routine services, men's and women's health services, also minor injury assistance. If any student has an injury on campus, they can come by. We also have physical exams, both for compliance, sports, dance, ROTC, and such. And we also test and treat any sexually transmitted diseases. The only things that we don't have on campus are the X-ray ability, mammograms, eye exams, or dental services. The only thing that we do need is all students must fill out new patient forms. And that is the link that's listed down below. These forms will be updated on a yearly basis, but once they fill it out, they're good for the full year. Okay. As far as billing goes, we do accept most PPO insurances. The only ones we don't accept are HMOs, any veteran insurances like TRICARE, no Medicaid and no Medicare. If there's any questions, of course, feel free to call us to the clinic and we can always verify, try to see if we are accepting your insurance and give you a little bit of information just to help you call your insurances and maybe verify if we are covered under your program. We also offer fairly reasonable prices at a self-pay rate if a student does not have any insurance. So if a student just needs to go in and a basic office visit is $30. We offer pretty competitive rates as far as any lab services that are needed. We have good contracts, luckily, with some of the local labs throughout the city. So we're able to provide good prices to our students, especially those that don't have any insurance. Some of the payments that we accept, of course, we accept credit card, Visa or MasterCard. We accept cash, check. And then the one thing that's beneficial to our students, they also have the option to apply to the minor gold account. And then this provides them a full semester to be able to pay off that charge that they've put on their account. And then it's not a payment plan. So they don't have to go in and make payments every week. As long as they do pay it off by the end of the semester, they should be okay. So it's also beneficial if it's ever an emergency and they need to get seen, they're not feeling well. This is an option that they do have. Okay, some of the immunizations that we provide at our clinic, we do have the Tdap. We have the hepatitis B, there are 2 of them. Usually this is given in doses. So the first one we have is a 3-dose. That one is spaced out over a matter of 6 months. And then we have the Heplisav. It's also a hepatitis B vaccine, but that one is spaced out over 2 months. So it's a lot more convenient, especially for those students that are in the health sciences program. We also the MMR, the Baravax, which is the chickenpox. We do offer the flu vaccine. However, at the moment, we have not received it. We are estimating we'll get that within mid-September, late September. Our vendor sent us an email. We're just waiting on clarification that they shipped it. So as soon as we get that, we'll try to put that out either on our social media or try to send out an email so that the staff is aware, the students are aware that we have that in the clinic. And then we also offer the meningitis vaccine for any of those incoming students or any of those that are needing it for their registration. Okay, so our medical staff consists of our full-time nurse practitioner. We have a registered nurse. We have a certified medical assistant. And then we do have a part-time physician who comes in and sees students as well. His specialty is in internal medicine with a specialty of infectious disease. Okay, so just some information for parents. If your child is under the age of 18, we will need parental consent in order for us to be able to treat the students. Now, we understand some parents are not able to physically come on campus, either they're out of town or they're just not able to. They can always give us a call and provide that consent verbally over the phone, and this will allow the student to be treated. Now, on the opposite side, like Cass had mentioned, if your student is over the age of 18 years old, we are not able to release any information pertaining to the student under federal law. So if the student does not grant us permission to discuss any of their care or why they were seen or if they were seen, we are not able to provide that over the phone, or even if you come in, we cannot release that information. Unless, again, if your student grants us permission, then we are able to release that. But other than that, our hands are tied in that sense. And then that was all of my presentation. I don't know if there's any questions. I'd be glad to answer that.
Yes, can you kind of just tell us what the Health and Wellness Center is doing right now in terms of COVID, of how since the semester started, what is being offered to students in regards to COVID?
Okay, so one of the big things that we are offering at the moment, we have COVID testing that is free to students that are registered for the semester, and it is a rapid test. So results are generally sent to the students within the hour. They will be emailed. It is on a walk-in basis, so they can come in as long as they've completed a consent form, and they can find that on our link that they would fill out. So if they go down here to this link, fill out the consent form, and it's only done once. After that, they can come in. The requirements are they can only test weekly, but they can come in every week and get tested. It's a walk-in basis. They come in during our operating hours, and the convenience that they get the results within the hour. So it's really nice. Especially we encourage it if there's been a positive within their classes, around their friends. We highly encourage them to come in and get tested. It's just peace of mind for everybody all around. And there is a mega site that is being offered by the city. It's not being run by us, but it is being run by the city, and they do have designated lines for the students and their families. So they can go in as long as they have their minor gold card with their families, go into the designated lines. Their results are taken, I think, 24 to 48 hours is what we had heard. So that's also a benefit for families that want to go in and get tested with their students. But in the clinic ourselves, we're providing that. We're not handling the vaccinations at the moment for COVID. I'm sure if the need were to arise, we could always explore that option.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any questions for Health and Wellness Center? Yes, Raquel, sadly, that's really out of our hands. But again, it's a very fluid situation with this pandemic. So we will definitely see if that changes. But I can tell you from this first week, from the times I walked around, a lot of students are wearing their masks voluntarily, obviously. And it's been a nice watch to see. I also had another question. Are there any services provided virtual or online by the Student and Health, the Wellness Center?
So at the moment, we do have a new nurse practitioner on board, and we're actually getting ready to start rolling out and exploring the virtual visits for students.
Ooh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah. One thing has shown me with this whole change is virtual doctor's appointments are better.
Most definitely.
Yes, Raquel. And honestly, these minor students have been doing a great job in taking care of themselves and taking care of others. And I can tell you that these first 3 days, they did have an immunization van in front of the building that has the majority, the classes with the biggest auditorium classes, and they've had them there this entire week. So encouraging others, and there's just this big culture of everyone, you know, get vaccinated, mask up, and I've been very happy to see how many people have been, you know, taking their part in taking care of themselves as well as others. Does anyone else have any other questions for Yolanda? Of course, she has the information here for the Student Health Center as well. I've seen a lot of students going to get tested as well. I've seen the lines, so I think that's really great that they're taking advantage and being proactive with their health as well, and making sure that they're getting checked and they know that opportunity. So I want to thank you so much for your time. If anyone else has any questions, you can email here. You can, again, always email parents@utep.edu, and we can make sure to forward the email to where we think could be best answered. And I want to invite you all for our next meeting. Let me not butcher what date it's going to be. It's going to be September 22nd, which is a Wednesday. And of course, it's not the last Wednesday of the week because that Wednesday is homecoming. So it's going to be a busy week for our office, but that will be on student integrity. So we're going to be having Oscar, which is the Office of Student Conduct and Conflict Resolution, as well as Title IX. So that will be another great session to join. But it looks like I don't have anything right now in the chat. So I just want to thank you all so much for your time, and have a great end to your Wednesday and a good continuation of your week and a good end to your August. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Yolanda, for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.